Shalom Yasharala, this your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So real quick, I want to jump into this here article. It says Facebook enforcement report reveals AI is deleting 97% of hate speech before anyone reports it. All right, now obviously, we're not talking about actual real hate speech. All right, this is actually geared towards what the men of the Lord, going against their agenda and everything like that, because there's many topics of what hate speech is or whatever, whatnot. You have these rappers and these celebrities, or rappers, let's just talking about killing each other and doing drugs all damn day long. They don't pull down their so-called poster things like that. They make money off of that. They have advertisement. You can watch any of these rappers videos, like let's just say on YouTube, right? Before their videos come on, they all have commercials on there, right? Now, if you understand how those things work, your so-called message or the things that you're uploading has to be in line with certain sponsors or whatever, whatnot, but yet they don't pull those things down. All right, but nevertheless, let's read this. It says Facebook has patted itself on its back for nuking almost all hate speech that supposedly violated its rules. But not only was most content deleted before anyone could flag it, users weren't even allowed to appeal most deletions. All right, so hey, look, it's not a situation where they could have so-called mistakenly did this or did that or whatever, whatnot. But ultimately, like let's say for instance, you have a YouTube algorithm or whatever, whatnot, that may pick up on you using a term dealing with a certain type of drug, a nickname for a certain type of drug that's a white powdery substance, right? But then they could mistake that you're talking about that when you're actually talking about a soda, a big soda company name that's in the little red can, But nevertheless, because they both have the same names, but you could be talking about, oh yeah, I went and bought me a Coca-Cola. All right, instead of saying that whole name, you could just say the short name of it, and then they might, flag you or whatever, whatnot. But then what? You have the chance to appeal that, like, nah, your algorithm picked this up wrongfully. I was actually talking about soda. All right, but nevertheless, they have this here AI, like it says, but not only was most content deleted before anyone could flag it, so real people aren't really reviewing these things. The AI is. Users weren't even allowed to appeal most deletions. And ultimately, like when we do our videos and we get these strikes and everything, like damn near a lot of our channels are mostly all the brothers in the camp right now, and the camp that I'm in right now, all of our channels then got strikes. Obviously, that's why I'm uploading on my second channel right now, But nevertheless, it says, unveiling its community standards enforcement reports for the fourth quarter of 2020 on Thursday, Facebook bragged that its expanded use of artificial intelligence has helped it delete almost twice as much bullying and harassment content as the previous quarter, just won several categories in which removal skyrocketed, while its Instagram subsidiary dramatically expanded its ability to catch suicide and self-injury related content. All right, now what about all these so-called challenges and things like that? You have these quote-unquote daredevils and things like that, so-called accidental suicides. They doing certain things, hanging from the top of buildings and parkour and things like that, things that's not in the so-called negative limelight or whatever, whatnot. You're doing some parkour or whatever, whatnot. You wind up jumping too far and jump off the building. They actually have videos of things like that online and everything like that. But they don't pull those videos, right? So it says Facebook acts 6.3 million bullion items, nearly doubling last quarter's 3.5 million, assisted in large part by its AI technology. Expanded translation ability helped remove 26.9 million pieces of hate speech content, up from 22.1 million in the third quarter. And as we see, the devil is ramping up, trying to silence the men of the Lord. All right. It says, how do we know that this is talking about us? Well, because he's trying to push off his market beast system. All right. And we're the ones that's, there's an information war going on. He's trying to subdue you with his witchcraft and everything like that, and his actors and everything like that to portray a certain image. But what we're going through with the facts, the scriptures, and we're pulling these things out. All right. And then so you have two different people. It's like you in court. You got, they trying somebody in court. One side gonna say one thing, the other side is gonna say the other thing. They're trying to persuade the jury to believe their side. All right. But nevertheless, this is what you have going on. But what they have going on right now is the fact that they're trying to silence us with no way of not to say no remorse or anything like that, but nevertheless, it's just a blanket silencing of us. It's not an actual legitimate situation where you can plead your case. All right. It says, despite the numbers growing across the board, there's no proof the increased deletions necessarily translated to a better user experience. The vast majority of content now, we're supposed to be living in a country with freedom of speech, right? This is the freest country in the whole world, right? It says, hey, where the president at the time can't even have what was it, an Instagram account or whatever he had, a Twitter account, you know? It says the vast majority of content removal was performed automatically by the platform systems before a single user could set eye on it, let alone report it as violating some rules. So, all they got to do is program the algorithms, whenever we chime in, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, or speaking about anything in the Bible or whatever, whatnot, pull out these things or program the system to pick these up as buzzwords, all right? And then all of a sudden, it's just going to axe it all automatically. Nevertheless, the social media behemoth bragged that 97% of hate speech removed by the platform was deleted by AI before a single human could see it or be offended by it, a 3% increase over the previous quarter and a whopping 16.5% increase since last quarter of 2019. Now, I'm pretty sure there's some things that I can go on YouTube or on TV. Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, the WAP thing. I'm offended by that our women would be promoting that type of imagery to our daughters, our sisters, our mothers, our nieces, and so on and so forth. I'm offended by those things. And you know what I do about it? I don't watch that stuff, man. All right? It's not like that they're forcing me to watch these things, strapping me down to a chair and with a TV in front of me and just playing it back to back to back. If you don't want to see it, click off of it, man. I'm pretty damn sure they came out with multiple country music songs, heavy metal songs, and techno songs, or whatever the hell they call it right about now. But guess what? I don't know about none of those things because I'm not into none of that stuff. So I don't know nothing about none of those things. I don't watch it. It says it's hard to tell how users felt about the platform stepped up content babysitting, while how the users feel about it. Because who can actually say anything about these things, They wouldn't really notice. All of a sudden, they'll just think that their favorite YouTuber or whatever, whatnot, or a poster or whatever, whatnot, all of a sudden just gave up the work or whatever, whatnot. I know on my main channel, when I got back onto that one after it got shut down the first time, I was getting comments. It was like, oh, man, where you been? I thought that you stopped teaching or whatever, whatnot. I'm like, nah, I got a strike, and they shut down the channel, and then didn't have it that much more longer before they shut it down again. All right, it says, while Facebook normally allows users to appeal its decisions to delete content, a temporary reduction in its review capacity as a result of the pandemic meant users' appeal options were severely correlated. The platform admitted. Nevertheless, Facebook Chief Tech Officer Mike, I'm not even sure how to pronounce his name, could give me a second. Could scarcely contain his excitement over the rate of improvement of its AI hate speech detection tool, noting that the last quarter of 2017, just 24% of such content had been removed without a human intervention, and likened Facebook's anti-bullying tools to life-saving advances in science and technology. But in reality, is bringing more people to death, because if you don't give a person the other side of the information and letting them form their own opinion about these things, all right, you just have them being, you brainwashing them and to follow a certain thing, It says, when you look at the times when new technology has helped address the hardest problems facing our world, from curing diseases to producing safer cars, progress happened incrementally over decades as technology were refined and improved. This guy gushed, boasting he'd heard the same story of steady, continuous improvement these days when I talk to the engineers building AI systems that can prevent hate speech and other unwanted content from spreading across the internet. But then you have to ask yourself, do you really have the freedom of speech? Do you really have what they call them shits, the amendments, Bill of Rights and all these things? Do you really have any rights or anything like that, man? Are you really free here in America, man? It says, however, as many dissatisfied Facebook users have either been booted off the platform or migrated of their own free will, have made clear hate speech is in the eye of the beholder. All right. The platform lost 2 million users in North America alone, and the third quarter of 2020, dropping a further million for the fourth quarter. And ultimately this is a scenario that's putting Esau, because, hey, look, just imagine, most people watching TV or whatever it is for sports, entertainment, and things like that. Let's say, like on YouTube, you can watch all kind of different stuff, sports, entertainment, all this and that. Now, let's say they got rid of all of that type of stuff, and they just pretty much had like as if you was in some type of class and born, you know, that old guy used to be like, for draw red eyes, use clear eyes. Imagine this dude sitting here reading out all the laws to some of the law books in America. You know, they just continuously just reading that. That's the only thing that there was on YouTube, and they didn't kick anybody off. Guarantee every single person would just leave off of YouTube anyway, because we don't want to watch this. We want to watch the things we were watching beforehand. All right, so with these types of things, you know, they're only cutting their own the people that's going to be using their platform, which is going to be less traffic, less rate seeing these sponsors or whatever, whatnot, less ad revenue coming in, and so on and so forth. But nevertheless, it says that didn't hurt its earnings, but the tech giant has made a number of users alienated decisions recently that are driving even long-time users to its competitors. Oh, like I said, it didn't hurt their numbers, but it's going to their competitors. Come on, man. You know, you have companies like I believe BitChute, I think it is. You know, where most people didn't know about that platform, but then all of a sudden they had that other one they just shut down. I forgot what it was called, but they had this other platform that they just shut down. Not Tumblr. It was something like right when Trump got axed off of Instagram or Twitter. They had this other platform or whatever, whatnot, Parler. All right, but you know what happened was a lot of people started flocking to those platforms because why? They kept being silenced on the YouTube or whatever, whatnot, and so those platforms was actually growing. And what they had to do and go and shut down those companies, man. All right, so like I said, ultimately this is going to drive people to stop dealing with these things, man, and seek truth in other places. All right. The recent ultimatum to users of encrypted messenger subsidiary WhatsApp, which they just changed that too, essentially demanded users to share their private data with Facebook or delete the app. You see? It says is believed to have swollen the ranks of encrypted messenger app Telegram. Like I said, you know, if you shut people out on one, it's just going to drive traffic to another one. And now they're trying to shut down Telegram. All right. Which rose in popularity to become the most downloaded non-gaming app for smartphones in January. All right. But ultimately, you know, this is going to come down on their ass. You know, all their things are going to just wind up collapsing with these things, you know. Oh, let me grab something else first. Isaiah. Oh, let me grab this first in Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And, you know, we've been speaking on the famine of the word and over and over and over and over again. You know, it's a simple little lesson or whatever, whatnot. But yet and still, now we're in the times where these prophecies are speaking, man. All right, you're seeing that they're actually moving the algorithms around to change all these different things from the YouTube, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, all these different platforms. They're shutting down other sites that's starting to grow in popularity, like Parler. All right, you know, you had the encrypted messenger like WhatsApp. Now that they got to give all their data over to Facebook, in which we know Facebook is nothing more than a governmental, it's like the FBI, but they use these front companies. You know, if you want to look into that, look up what they call COINTELPRO. I believe COINTELPRO is a front company or a shell company for either the FBI or the CIA to create other companies up under that name. So when people go and do the research on it or whatever, whatnot, just like a regular, like you can have a regular restaurant. Let's say they're trying to catch the mob or whatever, whatnot. What they'll do is they'll create an Italian restaurant, make it like a little place where these guys will come in and eat or whatever, whatnot. But the whole place is bugged the whole time, you know, and it's just a front. You know, it's actually a functioning restaurant, but it's nearly there as a snare and a trap to catch these people, man. All right. So, hey, with these big tech companies, Google, Facebook, and so on and so forth, man, this is all just government's tools to sweep you up into their snare. All right. Let me go to Isaiah. Isaiah 55 and 6 says, seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let days an unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. All right, so, you know, now is the time to be seeking the Lord early. All right, before they cut the minute of the Lord off the internet and everything like that, man. Because right now, you know, especially for brothers coming into the truth right now at this point in time, it's kind of hard for them to try to cram all this here information into the you know, into their minds and everything, because, you know, we're hitting on basically the same prophecies, these end time prophecies, the last couple prophecies is going on right now, you know. So, you know, you still have brothers putting up videos with a lot of the milk videos and things like that, are like, you know, who are the Israelites, the curses that the Israelites are up under, you know what I'm saying, and how we're Israelites based upon who our fathers are and so on and so forth. and all these different things, who is Esau and all these different things. But nevertheless, you have a higher volume of what these prophecies that are speaking right now, as far as, martial law, the famine of the word, the RFID chip being the mark of the beast being pushed. All these things right now are what's pretty much, how they say, hot and ready, and it's more expedient to be pushed right about now, because these are the times that we're actually living in, and the times that are actually at hand right now. All right. Let me go from there to Amos now. I'm not trying to make this too long. So, Amos 8:11, it says, "Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the word of Yahweh." And now, obviously a famine is dealing with food, and substance that keeps you, like a baby. You got to feed a baby to build up a child, to get the vitamins and nutrients and so on and so forth, so that child will wind up growing. If you starve a baby out, or you starve a regular human being out, they'll pretty much wind up dying off, because they don't have the substance to sustain them. All right, but like the scripture says, it's not a famine of food and water, but it's a famine of hearing the word of the Lord. Like the scripture say, you're not going to live, roughly paraphrasing, you're not going to live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord. Because in these points of times, you're going to need guidance to show you what to do and what not to do, and where the snares and the traps are at, man. Because if you don't know about none of this truth or whatever, whatnot, the Illuminati and all these things going on, Esau and his plans and everything like that, during the midst of this here pandemic, you be first in line, going to go run to go get your jab or whatever, whatnot, just so you can go run to go get back to work, just for your job to get shut right back down anyway, just for you to be sitting at home anyway and getting sick, and, the end all be all, like, yo, you could have saved yourself the hassle if somebody just would have told you about these things, man. All right. It's just like, if somebody tell you about the tabloids in the grocery store, this is like all fake news and media, half shark boy, half alligator boy. But if you don't know no better, you go in there and you start looking at those things, you might start making rash decisions. Oh shit, this is happening, that's happening, there's a second sun coming in or whatever, whatnot, a second moon floating in. You probably go crazy. But if somebody tell you, like, bro, this is just fake news anyway, you know what I'm saying? This is just, they just selling little stupid stories or whatever, whatnot. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. I take that with a grain of salt. But hey, you need somebody to guide you. This is why you need to be seeking the Lord early, because why? They're about to silence the men of the Lord with this here, like they're using their AI, their technology, and all these different things under the guise of what? Hate speech and things like that, man. All right, so what? We need to be preparing our minds. All right, let me grab that real quick. This is Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall..." Well, hold on. Let me grab another precept first. Revelation 1:3, it says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy." All right, how are you hearing the words of this here prophecy? We can go into, what is that, Psalms 19. All right, we'll grab it. "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." All right, this is the time that we're living in. Now, this is the times where the prophecies are speaking loud and clear. The vision is yet for an appointed time. This is where now you're going to need this here information. Now, let's go back into where I was about to grab here in Isaiah 33:6, where it says, we just read, "Blessed is he that readeth," all right, "and they hear the word of this here prophecies." How are you going to hear about these things, right? Or once you hear about these things, what it's supposed to do is to build you up. Isaiah 33:6 says, "And wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." So, right now we're not in a mind state of not knowing what's going on, and being tossed to and fro, all right, because of the fact of not being tossed to and fro because of the fact that what we have, the comforting of this here word, man. We understand, that the Most High is actually working behind the scenes. He's the one that's actually doing all these pulling all these moves and things like that. He's actually the one that's behind the whole famine of the word. All right, that's the prophecy that he set forth. All right, and we know that, hey, our salvation is that much more near, because why? Like Matthew, what is that? Matthew 24:14 say, "And this gospel shall be preached to all four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come." So we know, according to measuring the time diligently, looking at these here prophecies, and I'm about to cut the men of the Lord off from preaching, we know that basically the end is near. All right. What was that precept I just said I was going to get? Oh, yeah. Psalms 19. So blessed he that readeth, and he that hear this here prophecy. And how you going to hear this here prophecy? It says, Psalms 19:1. "The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." All right. And now in the heavens, which this heavens is speaking about where you see the birds at and everything like that, or planes and satellites up there, you know, that type of heavens. All right, and what's being transmitted through the satellites and through the air, man. All right, these data airwaves and everything like that. How you think you watching this here YouTube video right now anyway, man? All right, you watching it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, or some way like that. All right, where are you getting that data from? Now, when I go to upload this here video, I'm going to be at my house here in Florida. I'm going to take this here video that I'm recording here in Florida, upload it up into what they would probably call like the cloud or whatever, whatnot. Then ultimately it's going to be, you know, broadcast throughout the four corners of the earth over something that they call the internet. All right, and when you go and click on that video, it's going to be downloaded onto your screen. All right, so this is how the firmament is showing forth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. You know, because 24 hours a day, you know, like in the regular world, when you was growing up as a Christian, you know, you had church on Sundays. You know, Jake went to church more than just Sunday, but let's just stick to just the Sunday service, right? You got church on just Sunday, right? Sunday school and so on and so forth, you know, between a certain time frame and hour or whatever, whatnot, to get the word. You know, if you had to work at that point in time, like, well, you're going to have to figure something else out, you know. But now, you know, the way this here word is going out, no matter what time you work, what your schedule is, 24 hours a day, you can go online and watch videos. You know what I'm saying? 24 hours a day, whether you're working at nighttime or you up at nighttime, you know, you sleeping in, you like, let's say brothers work third shift or whatever, whatnot, and they sleep throughout the daytime or whatever, whatnot, but they up all night long. Whereas some of the brothers that's up in the daytime, that's working throughout the daytime and sleeping at night, that brother may have filmed the video during the daytime, uploaded it. Now the brother that work at on night shift or whatever, whatnot, can watch that video because, you know, he's up at that point in time, man. All right, it's not like you watching a live broadcast. I mean, they do have live streams, but then again, those are still posted online, or you can watch it at any point in time of the day. So it's not like back in the old days where you watching a live TV broadcasting about certain things. It's more or less like how they have on demand right now, man. All right. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard, because this here internet, you know, these videos go throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, you know, like I said, I'm over here in Florida uploading these here videos. Right, you can pretty much watch these here videos in China. Well, I don't know about all that, but you know, like, you know, places where they don't have the high censorship on the videos. You know, the Middle East and so on and so forth. You know, and we don't have to go over there, but nevertheless, they can still watch the videos. It says there's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard, because, you know, they have the people that will be in those countries that are also like Israelites that'll hear the message, retranslate, they'll download the video, retranslate it, or put subtitles up or whatever, whatnot, you know, or other brothers that are hearing this here word or whatever, whatnot, and they're prophesying in their own native tongue. So the message is still going out, all right? Verse 4. Their line is gone out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world, and them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. So going into, you know, their line is going out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. You know, back in the older days, they would say, you know, America Online, AOL, right? Or right now you have, like, let's say you watching YouTube, you lose internet connection. It says what? Offline. Then when you get internet connection again, it says back online, right? You're connected, you know, via the internet, all right? So nevertheless, this is how this here word and everything is going out, all right? Let's think about one more precept, but it's all good. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and taught us this truth and rule well. Salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.